Oh, PM Ed of Cloud Management Solutions here at Super Micro, continuing our podcast on navigating the Super Cloud Developer Console, formerly SDX. In the previous video with a one-click operation, we were able to instantiate VMs, and you can see in the list here 4 of them that were instantiated in the previous video, entering some important information such as flavor information, where it's connecting to the bridge, and specifying essentially the container or the native image you're going to utilize, whether it be a Windows host, Ubuntu host, a CentOS, or Rocky Linux host. And what we can do here is by clicking on the Windows host, we can see here detailed information indicating the network bridge in which it's connected to. It's in a running state. The boot disk that we're utilizing here as far as the endpoint is concerned. We're not utilizing a public key. We have an account that we're accessing it, and the flavor information. The flavor information is the information that we were able to instantiate this VM, such as the memory size footprint, no GPUs associated with this virtual machine, and basically using a 8 CPU core. And how we access this particular VM or virtual machine is through a VNC console link. And we can see here that by clicking on that option, we are now provided with the ability to connect into that host. And we can simply utilize the Alt Control Delete here. And then you can see here we've already injected the username and the username here, and we're simply going to type in the password. So I'll plug in the password here and then log in, and you can see here that we're actually logging into this host, and it's actually setting up our Windows environment that is getting ready to deploy other particular feature sets with this particular host. So we'll let this cook in the background here, and then come back a little bit later on this particular host, seeing if we can actually look at various information. So this information is continuing on the install which may take a few minutes to bring in these various other features. So we'll go ahead here and sort of minimize this for a moment, and then click on the next option is Ubuntu, and then clicking on the link option for Ubuntu. And you can see here VNC console gives us the login information. We can plug in our cult K as our username there, and our password. We're going to also plug in here, and immediately we're into this particular host. So if we wanted to do any sudo type of commands, we would simply do a sudo su, and then at that point we would be asked to type in information in here. And you can see here that we're now in sudo mode because we've changed the prompt to a # prompt. And here you can look at information. Let's look at the IP address show, indicating that we are given a IP address, which is basically a 10 address, which is through the converged network or the CNI of the Kubernetes environment. You can see here that the operational status of that NIC is in an operation or an up state. So if we wanted to go out and communicate to the internet, we can say ping to our DNS server, and we can see here we have connection out to our DNS Google server, and you can type in commands like dig 8.8, and it would show you the reverse lookup information if our dig utility is available, and it is in here. You can see here our authoritative uh, lookup came back as query as for reverse and forward lookup. So our SOA record was intact here from our particular our DNS for 8.8.8.8. So if we wanted to simply issue an @get update, we could do so here, and it would communicate with our mirrors out here, and we can look at installing other packages that we would like to see here, that we would like to install. Maybe we want to install bind utilities. There are various different types of packages we can pull. Maybe we want to make this a NFS server. We can issue the NFS common command here to make it an NFS client. And then maybe we want to, let's see if we could bind utils. Let's see if we can pull bind utils here. App-get, app-get install NFS common. And you can see here if we wanted to load the NFS client here, you can see here it's pulling the packages from the mirror and ready to set this server as an NFS client and pulling down the appropriate software dependencies and mirrors for that one. So you can see here, easily able to deploy, simple deployment of a VM for Ubuntu with one-click operation. It's really that simple, right? What we did in the previous video of a couple of clicks and away you're ready to go and deploying your clients within your tenant cloud configuration for on-prem. So all of this is available to you for the developer console. So that's a little bit on the plug with Ubuntu. So if we close out this and go back here, maybe we can look at a CentOS use case too as well by clicking on CentOS here and then clicking here through VNC. Let's make the window here a little bit bigger. We're going to log in as Call K again, put in our password. And we're into the CentOS prompt. You can see here we're not in privilege mode, so we can do a sudo su here. And we're now in sudo mode, and you can issue a yum update command here, and it will go out and pull down all the appropriate dependencies here for a yum update for this particular host, pulling down all the RPM packages from the internet. So with just, again, with one-click operation, easily deploy a VM for a Linux-flavored host, either it be Rocky Linux, Ubuntu, and CentOS. All right, so let's go back to our Windows host here for a moment and see here whether it's finished doing its thing here. So if we go back up here to Windows and then click on the VNC console again, and you can see here that we're ready to go with our particular platform here. It's connected out into the internet. You can see here by right-clicking here and looking at network settings, you can see we're connected. So let's see if we can go to the command line prompt here and issue an ipconfig/all and see what we see there. You can see here we're running a Red Hat VirtIO Ethernet adapter. If we scroll up here, You can see here that we're given a IPv4 address from our CNI environment for Kubernetes, and it's connected. Let's see if we can connect out into the internet. Let's go ahead and see if we can browse out onto Google and see what's new here within our Edge device here. So we'll confirm and start browsing here. So we can see here we're out to the internet here through MSN. And let's make the window a little bit larger here. We can see here various newsworthy information here out on the internet. And there you have it, a Windows host that's been instantiated as a VM, and also your Linux hosts and Linux flavor. It's that easy to deploy a virtual machine under developer console. Hopefully this has been useful for you. Next video will focus on containerization or instantiation of containers. Thanks for joining today. Have a great day. We'll see you across the aisle.